Do you really think tragedy won't happen to you? Have you ever been struck by tragedy and thought, I never thought it could happen to me? I hear it all the time, and I've even said it myself. When I learned of this family's tragedy, it immediately changed my way of thinking. And I hope that their story will cause you to make one small change that just might save your life. I'm Chuck Shaver, the Shaver Group with Keller Williams Heritage Realty. And today, I'm here to share how one family's tragedy could actually save your life. Or, at the very least, prevent some severe headaches that this couple has had to endure. Stick around till the end of this video to see how easily you can avoid what happened to these pretty regular folks. This is a story of Vernell and Alana, a pretty typical middle-class couple that lived just north of Orlando, Florida on a pretty typical Friday morning. I'm not going to try to tell their story, as it just may be more impactful coming straight from their lips. So go ahead and tell us about your story.
Okay, on December 28th, we were going to go to Daytona Beach with some friends that had came to visit us from Wisconsin, and we had planned to go with them and spend all day with them. And at around 7:30 in the morning, I heard a loud pop, and while standing in my living room, I could see out my kitchen window. So while looking out the window, I could see the smoke coming from under the eaves. And then I heard another pop. And Alana, my wife, right here, she was in the bedroom, and she came out the bedroom and she hollered and told me that our freezer was on fire, which was standing right here. The freezer was right there on that wall, that one right there. And so when she told me that the freezer was on fire, her being ahead of me, she grabbed the fire extinguisher and came down our stairs, which you can't see now, but the stairs. And she tried to put it out with the fire extinguisher, and it failed to work. Now, this was my mistake, because generally I check my fire extinguishers. Before living here, while in Wisconsin, I used to check them at least 30 days. Every 30 days I would shake it. But in this case, I failed to do that. And I let it go because when we moved here, it looked in very good condition. No damage at all. It looked almost brand new. So I just took for granted that it worked. So when it didn't work, I was looking at the fire trying to determine what should I do. I wasn't able to push the freezer away from the house. Then I thought, I can't push both of them, and the fire was coming up along the wall, walking along the side of the wall. So I told her to go. Let's go back in. We had to go back in. So we went back in, and as I stood there, I realized that we were about to lose our home, and there was nothing that we could do except for try to get out with as much as we could, or whatever we could.
So what did the insurance company have to say about all of this?
The insurance company called the house a total loss and gave us a payout for that. And then our possessions, they said they were worth $78,000, and they've so far as they're only going to give us $36,000.
So you lose half of everything, the monetary value.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I went further on to say that everything that we had, some of the things that we had did not depreciate. They appreciated. I had a sword collection, that we've had for years. And then he said that some of the things can be replaced. And I told him that things made back in the 70s versus the same item made today, you're going to have a big difference in the material, the time that was made, and the professionalism for which that product was done 30 years ago.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And of course, they can't save our little life that we lost.
Losing our cat. We went and picked up his ashes today. So on the way back, it was a kind of a quiet ride,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And speaking of coming back, where are you living now? What's your situation today?
hotel room in Daytona Beach with the 2 dogs and the cat that made it.
And right now, it's a little hard to accumulate things because we don't really have enough room. And they're saying that on the 28th, if we don't have anywhere else to go, that we're going to have to move out of the room. But it will be paid. Our next place that we go to will be paid for.
Okay.
And so right now we're living on our savings and the income that we had coming before we lost this.
Okay. Is there one piece of advice that you'd give to somebody to help them avoid the loss that you've had?
The advice that I would give to someone to avoid this situation, that tragedy that has happened to us, would be to first of all check your fire extinguishers. And I believe that you can take it to the fire department and they'll check it for free. And also have insurance. And don't be afraid to go for the higher amount on your values, your home, and things of that nature, because it can happen to you. Never thought it could happen to us, but here we are.
Alana, is there anything that you could add to that?
Yes, back up all your important pictures either to the cloud or to a hard drive. Buy a fireproof safe and put all your important papers in there. If you cannot afford a fireproof safe, put them in your freezer. Our fridge and a freezer in the house both survived because they're pretty airtight.
Never would have thought of that. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Do you still think this couldn't happen to you? When Vernell shared his story, I got goosebumps. It wasn't because my emotions relating to their tragedy. It was more because I knew all too well that back at my house, there were 2 fire extinguishers, one in my kitchen, one in my bathroom. I had it all figured out that I haven't touched in over like 20 years. The next day, I spent a whopping $50 to replace those 2 fire extinguishers. And the following day, when my wife was out shopping, she picked up 4 more for some family members for their homes. Tragedies are going to happen. It's a sad reality. But preventable tragedies are avoidable. There are 2 things you can do to make a positive change. First, the next time you drive by the local hardware store, Lowe's or Home Depot, pick up a couple fire extinguishers, maybe even a couple for your loved ones or close friends. Secondly, consider giving to the GoFundMe account, and I'll include a link below, that has been created for this family. You can also share that link, and that way everybody can pitch in to help this family. Both of these will not only take a minute, but the impacts on both of these actions could be life-changing. Alana and Vernell may have saved my life, and I hope they can have the same impact on you too. If this story has meant anything to you, please post it below as an encouragement for others to take a simple, potentially life-saving step. Thanks for watching, and until next time.